Welcome to the beast, I unleash, I'm a motherfucking beast. Beast.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to week 1, day 6, glute day. So with this workout, there are going to be a couple substitutions that you can be able to make if you're a guy doing this program, just because there are some exercises that are very female specific, and I mean, guys can definitely do them, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with a guy doing all the exercises on this workout. But if a guy is looking to develop their entire leg as a whole rather than a girl who might want to solely focus on her glutes, then this workout can be altered to target more of a male specific goal as well. So we're going to start the workout with 3 sets of 20 barbell hip thrusts. Yes, 20. As heavy as you can go. It should be the hardest thing you will ever do in your entire life. So I actually started with 115 pounds, so a 35-pound plate on each side, and then ended up adding 5 pounds to each side there, and I like barely got that 20th rep every time. It was absolutely killer. You can see in these clips that I have a band above my knees here, and that's just to help me push my knees out against the band at the top of the movement so that I'm engaging my outer glutes just a little bit more in that hip thrust. So with the hip thrust, you're making sure that you're using a bench that isn't too high or too low. When you get to the top, you should look flat like a tabletop. Your knees should be at a 90-degree angle. You should be pushing your knees out and sitting into your heels and the outer edge of your foot. You should be squeezing your glutes hard at the top of every rep, keeping tension on your glutes as you come down, and make sure to tuck your chin down and really give that double chin while you're doing the hip thrust, especially at the top. You don't want to crank your neck back. That's going to put your spine in a place to hyperextend, and that's not what you want to do. That's actually how I injured myself about 6 months ago. So make sure you're tucking your chin down and you will be safe and good to go. I have a ton of videos explaining how to do proper form with the barbell hip thrust in my other leg day videos that I will link down below, as well as on my Instagram page with the hashtag MRoyFit form breakdown. I actually go over barbell hip thrusts with both a true barbell and with the preloaded ones, so definitely look that up on Instagram or check out the videos down below if you want a more thorough breakdown of proper form on the barbell hip thrust, because this move can seriously make or break your glute gains if you're doing them properly or improperly. Next up, we did cable glute pull throughs, 3 sets of 12 with a drop set on the final set. So with the pull through, I like to do these as more of a squat through. So I'm focusing on the hip hinge part of the pull through. The hip hinge meaning I'm bending at the waist, but you can see I hinge at the hips and then I squat down with my legs as well to help deepen the stretch in my glutes, and then I'll come up and squeeze, and it should feel like the top of a hip thrust with every single rep of your pull through. So I am keeping my weight in my heels, bending forward at the waist as much as I can, pushing my hips back like a Romanian deadlift, and then keeping my weight in my heels and my outer foot, and I'm really thinking about pushing the ground apart and squeezing my glutes together as I come up. So you should feel this burn in your glutes really badly. Now, for this exercise, there is a male substitution exercise. You can do a plate loaded leg press for this instead. They're not really similar exercises, but if you feel very uncomfortable doing the pull through as a male, then I suggest that you can just do a leg press instead. Girls, I really suggest that you try to practice this movement and master it rather than making a substitution, because this will be a very good staple for your glute gains, toning your butt, lifting your butt, and making it rounder and firmer if you're doing this correctly. So really play around with angles, what feels best for you and what works best for you, and let me know any questions you have below about the exercise down below. It's a tricky one to get down, but once you do, you will never look back. Next up, we have the angled single leg press, 10 per leg here. Nothing special about this. I'm using some random like hammer strength sliding swinging leg press pendulum thing, and I didn't like it at all at this gym. I was actually intending on doing a seated leg press for this exercise. So if you have a seated leg press at your gym, this is what this exercise was intended to be for, not like an incline or free weight sort of leg press. So the ones where you actually move the peg in the leg press and do that instead. But basically you just want to turn your body sideways, try your best to keep as neutral of a spine as possible. You're not bending your back at all. You're keeping your spine against the seat and very stable, and then you're just twisting your leg sideways a little bit so that you feel this movement in the outer half of your leg, so your outer quad and your outer glute, and you're pushing out of your heel and the outer side of your leg as well. Then we did a cable glute kickback superset with a single leg dumbbell Romanian deadlift. So 12 per leg on the kickback, 10 per leg on the Romanian deadlift. I like to hold on to something for both of these exercises. The cable glute kickback, make sure you are hinging at the hips and really kicking back and leading with your knee until you reach full hip extension. So hip extension meaning you're getting your thigh to be parallel with your torso at the top. I like to pause a little bit and squeeze my glute at the top of every single kickback, as well as turning my foot outwards just a little bit so that I can engage the side of my glute and engage more of my glute altogether in this movement. So really just be slow and controlled with these kickbacks, and you want to make sure you're leading with your knee so that you feel it in your butt. If you're not feeling it in your butt cheeks, then really drop the weight and just reevaluate your form, take a video of it, and make sure you're doing these properly. Now with the single leg dumbbell Romanian deadlift, you can hold on to something with one hand. I always do. I never make this a move that I fully rely on my balance for, because it'll just take away from the hamstring and glute aspect of it. So this should feel exactly like a Romanian deadlift, except you're only hinging at the hip with one leg. With this, you really want to focus on that hip hinge being as great as possible. You'll really feel your glutes stretch if you kick that back leg a little bit higher and really focus on bending at the waist and pushing your weight back into your heels. I don't even have to use like a full range of motion for these to really feel it in my glutes, but when I am pushing into my heel and pushing my hips back as much as I can with that hip hinge, I'm feeling it a lot. And so I'll just show you guys real quick. The substitute for the cable glute kickback is just going to be a barbell Romanian deadlift. So for the guys out there who really just don't want to be seen doing a kickback, I understand. You can substitute in a barbell Romanian deadlift, so you'll just do the barbell and then you'll switch right to single leg dumbbell Romanian deadlifts. So it's the same move, but just both legs, then one leg, then one leg. It's not going to target your glutes the same way as a kickback would, but again, guys don't necessarily have that urgent need to build their glutes and tone their glutes as much as a girl does. I mean, everyone loves a good butt on a guy, but I do understand that where guys are coming from, where they don't want to be seen doing these very female specific moves in the gym. Next up, after that, we did a dumbbell single leg box squat, 10 per leg. These are so hard, guys. You can see how much I'm struggling in these videos, and it's incredibly difficult. If you can't do these with weight yet, just do them completely body weight. That's totally okay. So essentially what you're doing is you're finding a bench or a tire in our case, and you're holding a dumbbell up at your chest like you would for a goblet squat, and you are just sitting down as slowly as possible, and then you're pushing up out of that working foot through the heel to stand up and then squeeze your glute at the top. And the aim here is to train not only your glutes, hamstrings, and quads with this quote-unquote box squat, but also to really work on your stabilizers. The stabilizers around your knee, around your ankle. This is gonna help you guys prevent injury in your ankles and your knees when you're doing like athletic type activities, when you're playing sports. It's gonna help strengthen you from twisting your ankle. So I highly recommend really working hard to get better with your balance on these. It's not gonna come right away. It's very hard. I'm an advanced trainee and I'm struggling very much with this with just a 25-pound dumbbell. So if you have to hold on to something to start, or if you have to touch the ground a little more often with that other foot at the beginning, that's okay. Don't beat up on yourself, just do your best, and you will get better at these over time, just like any movement anyone does. And then on the final set here, we do a drop set to body weight on the last set. So if you are using weight for these single leg box squats, then after the final set, then put the dumbbell down after one leg and then do more until failure with just your body weight, and then do the other leg with weight, and then burn out with just body weight and match those reps with the other leg. Next up, we did a hip abductor machine. We did 3 sets, first set being 15 reps, second set being 20 reps, and third set being 25 reps. So we started heavier and then we went lighter and then even lighter. And then you see the note there, it says rest pause on the last set. So what a rest pause is when you finish your final set. So the final set here is 25 reps. Once I finished that, I paused and waited for 15 seconds, no longer, no less, and then went till failure with that same weight again. So in contrast to an AMRAP is you're just going and going and going on that final set until you hit failure and then you stop and you're done. A drop set is when you change the weight and then you'll go till failure again, but there's no rest between. And then a rest pause is you're just taking an extra 15 seconds after you finish those reps and then using the same weight and cranking out just a few more. So I actually only got 4 more on that final set of 25 reps, so I ended up getting 29 total, so that's what I wrote on the sheet. So that's what a rest pause is. Let me know if you have any questions about that below, but hopefully I explained that very clearly. Last but not least was the seated calf raise machine. Real simple with this. We've done it before on the day 1 workout. This was a different machine, but it works essentially the same way. I just loaded it up with some plates on the sides instead, and again, you're getting that full range of motion, letting your calves stretch all the way on the way down and reaching full calf extension at the top, which just means that you're pushing up into your toes as much as you can. Your heels are as high as they can possibly be. That's what full calf extension is. We just did 3 sets of 15, and I actually added a drop set at the end of this, even though it wasn't listed in the workout, just because I wanted to get a little more calf volume in on this day. So that was the glute day, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a great first week so far. Please let me know in my email inbox or in the comments below here any questions you have about the 30-day kickstart so far. I hope you guys are loving it, and I will see you guys tomorrow for full body conditioning. It's going to be absolutely killer. So give this video a thumbs up if you're loving the kickstart so far. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so that you get all the other videos for this program. Remember that you can download this program through the first link in the description box. It's completely free for you to do, completely free for you to follow along with, and just share it with a friend if you can. That I would appreciate that so much. Just get the word out that there's this awesome free program out on the market for you guys, 100% free. So thank you so much for watching again, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.